Well, good morning. Trucker Todd here, and time for another video. All right, folks, I know it's been a while since we did one of these recorded videos, but enough has happened. We've got some stuff to talk about. The title of this video, kind of catchy. I invented the paperclip. I'm going to tell you where that statement comes from and why I said it. But before I do me a favor. Give this video a thumbs up. Share it on your social media platforms, and make sure that you're subscribed to the channel so that you receive notifications when I do the live shows and when I do videos such as this. Typically, I try to do videos on Tuesday and Thursday evenings around 5 or 6 p.m. Central Time. Here lately, I hadn't been getting those out. They could be any day of the week, and that's why it's so important that you're subscribed, so that when I do one of these videos, you're the first, one of the first to see it. You receive a notification prior to those videos coming out. The lives, you get it 30 minutes before. The recorded videos such as this, you get a notification when they're released. Okay, so let's talk about this. And the bigger subject, as I'm sure you can figure, I did not invent the paperclip. But in this age where well, there's a lot going on. Let's just break it down. First of all, there's about to be a crackdown on the 25th of non-English speaking drivers in the United States. They're going to be put out of service. There's going to be a drop in drivers, which should mean that there will be more freight available. The less, if you've got 30 loads and you've only got 20 drivers as opposed to 50 drivers, there's going to be more demand for drivers. As a result of that, I've been getting poached this week. Several people have contacted me about coming to work for them. I'm going to stay where I'm at right now, but there's going to be that as well. Also, since we're still in a bad economy, and I've taken a lot of heat for this, admitting that I've struggled at times, that it's still a struggle, and people that talk to me privately tell me they're struggling, but I've taken a lot of heat for being so honest. I should lie to y'all. I should tell you it's all rainbows and roses and everything's great and there's unicorns flying around and all of that. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to tell you the truth, good or bad, the way it is. And I think that's why people watch this channel. I think that's why I have a lot of credibility. And you might remember back, depending on your age, when Al Gore got accused of saying that he created the internet. Actually, what he said was that he had supported some initiatives that led to the creation of the internet. But I've experienced much the same thing. That's why I put this out here about I invented the paperclip, is that, people take what I say out of context. They try to fit me in a narrative, fit me in a box that fits their agenda, and it just doesn't work. I've got a history of several years here of telling you the truth, and so they think with just a video that'll get a lot of clicks that they can change your mind. But the people that know me well, know what they're saying is a bunch of baloney. Now, what you've got to be careful of is, just like I got on here and said I invented the paperclip, there's people that are going to believe that, believe it or not. And the same is true with companies like Super Ego, like Prime. Let me give you some examples. It is well known right now that Super Ego is not the place to go, but people keep signing up every week. Now, either they don't believe, 1,000 Romans. There's old saying, 1,000 Romans can't be wrong. And they think, oh no, all these other truck drivers, they got it wrong. I'll make it work where nobody else did. Or they aren't doing any research, and that's a real possibility too. But a third possibility is they're watching YouTubers that are saying, oh, it's so great over here. We've seen this recently at Prime. Prime used to have YouTube recruiters running out the tail. They had them everywhere. The running joke at Prime was, when you show up at orientation, they give you a YouTube channel. All of a sudden, after several years of telling us how great Prime was, how much money they were making, now all of a sudden they're fanning out of there like crazy. So, which is true? Was Prime great and a bunch of changes happened and now it's not great? Or was it just them trying to get recruiting bonuses? And I'm in the camp that I think it could be a little bit of both. I'm sure that the culture at Prime is changing. I'm sure that, things aren't like they used to be. And I'm also sure there's a lot of deceitful drivers just out for that referral bonus. And so it's really frustrating when drivers are trying to find good companies and they don't know who's out here to help them and who's out here to hurt them. We can all think of other companies where guys went there. It was a clear recruiting effort. They didn't care about you. They just cared about the money. As we speak, I currently know of a couple of YouTube recruiters, let's call them, that they're sitting here promoting companies that they're looking for a way out. They're applying other places right now. And so it's very deceitful. I don't see how they sleep at night. I just don't get it. But I guess everybody's morals and ethics are different. But, some will point to me, well, Todd, you were looking at other companies recently. Yeah, I was, but I had a conversation with SRO Logistics prior to doing that. I wasn't doing it behind their back. I publicly came on here and told you I was doing it. And so I think it's a totally different scenario than guys that are clearly in it for the money. Some of them, get this, some of them are sitting in hotel rooms, not even completing orientation yet, and telling you how great this company is and giving you their driver code and telling you you should come there. Let me tell you, all you guys, because everybody knows that I can recruit. I've got a track history of it. I was very, very successful at it at Roadrunner and at Dart and at Swift. Nobody denies that. Let me tell you how to recruit. All of you YouTubers out there that are wanting to know how to do it, here's how you do it. Be successful. That's it. If you're successful, you're happy. If you're happy, it shows in your videos. You don't have to come on here and constantly give out your driver code, constantly promote. If you're happy, people can see it in your face. And I'll give you an example. Cassius King Trucking. He's happy where he's at. You watch his videos, people beg him to tell them where he works at, and he won't do it. He doesn't have to, because he's successful where he's at. His success is his biggest recruiting tool. If he ever announced where he worked, he'd have a ton of guys go there because they've seen him successful there, and he'd probably be successful anywhere. I'll give you another one. Hirschbach, Wildbeard Trucking. He does put his recruiter's information on there, but rarely mentions, hey, you need to come over here. This is a great place. What he says instead is, yeah, I know I could probably make more money somewhere else, but here's why I'm here. I get the weekends off to be with my son. I like what I'm doing. I like the people in the office I work with. And people go, wow, there's something to that guy. That's how you recruit out here. And you don't have to, I saw this in the car business too. People would think that they had to lie and deceive people to sell cars, or to sell anything for that matter. And it's just not true. I'd have people show up on the lot, especially when I sold new cars, and they'd say, how does this vehicle compare to a Honda CR-V? Beats me. I'll Google it and we'll figure it out together. People appreciated my honesty. Don't be afraid to say, I don't know, but I'll find out. To those of you that are trying to sell, trying to recruit, things like that. But you don't have to make up stuff like, I invented the internet, I invented paper clips, or anything like that. You just have to be yourself and be honest. All right, folks, Sorry for that little rant. I felt like I needed to get that out. Y'all have a great week. Hopefully I'll see you tomorrow night on the live. Take care. Bye-bye.